Live from New Delhi, watching DD India Live, India's Voice to the World. I'm Lovepreet coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi posts another Instagram video, praises anti-paper leak bill, says taking steps to make exam system more robust. Trump claims Board of Peace reaches historic agreement for disarmament of Hamas, critical step towards Gaza governance. US retaliates to Iran's continuous strike on its military bases in Kuwait and Jordan, imposes sanctions on global networks supporting Iranian airline Mahan Air. Hundreds of migrants pour into Spain's Ceuta from Morocco by sea and land, attempt to reach Europe, military called in. And India continues to shine in Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Weightlifter Lovepreet wins silver, discus thrower Seema settles for bronze, while Neeraj Chopra qualifies for javelin final. Head on to the details now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has lauded the passage of a bill by Parliament, stating that it makes our examination system more robust. Posting another Instagram video, Prime Minister praises anti-paper leak bill, saying that the legislation makes India's examination system more robust and reinforces transparency and fairness in public examinations.
साथियों, विश्वस्त परीक्षा पद्धति, इसके लिए हम लगातार एक के बाद एक कदम उठा रहे हैं। टास्क फोर्स की रचना हो, फास्ट ट्रैक की और रचना हो, राज्यों के सुझावों को ध्यान में लेना हो, क्योंकि पिछले कई दशकों से हर राज्य और केंद्र सरकार इस प्रकार की पेपर लीक की परेशानी झेल रहा है। बच्चों के भविष्य को भी इसके कारण संकट पैदा हो रहा है। इन सब को ध्यान में रखते हुए देशव्यापी सभी राज्यों में भी और केंद्र में भी शिक्षा पद्धति में सुधार अनिवार्य हो गया है। टेक्नोलॉजी के भरपूर उपयोग की आवश्यकता हो गई है और साथ साथ फिर से कोई पेपर माफिया, पेपर लीक करने वाली गैंग, देश के बच्चों के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़ करने वाली गैंग, उनको बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। इसलिए कठोर कानूनों की भी जरूरत है। हम संसद में बिल लेकर के गए थे और जैसा मैंने आपको वादा किया था, गत 2 दिन संसद के दोनों सदनों ने, अधिकतम माननीय सांसदों ने विस्तार पूर्वक उससे चर्चा की है और आज दोनों सदनों ने इस कठोर कानूनों वाले, प्रावधानों वाले इस बिल को पास कर दिया है। अब विश्वस्त परीक्षा पद्धति की दिशा में जाने में एक महत्वपूर्ण काम पूर्ण हुआ है। काम आगे भी चलता रहेगा। हम ऐसी परिस्थिति को लंबे समय तक नहीं चलने देंगे। इस विश्वास के साथ साथियों, आइए हम सब मिल करके विकसित भारत के स्वप्न को पूर्ण करने के लिए कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर के चलें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Well, Parliament on Thursday night passed amendments to an existing law to provide for stringent punishment for those involved in paper leaks and other unfair means in examinations, with Rajya Sabha clearing the bill amid a walkout by the opposition. The 715-hour-long debate and voting on the Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Amendment Bill 2026 saw the uproar by the opposition. Replying to the debate, Union Minister Jitendra Singh's reply that the government holds the youth in high esteem, and their esteem had gone up at international level under Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
The irony is that the first time the suggestion for setting up a national agency came way back in 1992, almost 33 years back. It was a Congress government at the center. A series of committees were formed, and in UPA 2 in 2010, again a very strong suggestion from one of the committees set up by them came to set up a national testing agency. I'm sure they will appreciate and be grateful and thank Prime Minister Modi that the unfinished task and unfinished agenda left by UPA is being completed and brought to conclusion by the NDA.
Well, in a written reply in Lok Sabha, government informed on Thursday that the ethanol blended petrol program has been implemented through a phased, scientifically validated and consultative process involving Niti Aayog, automobile manufacturers, oil marketing companies, Automotive Research Association of India, Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, Indian Institute of Petroleum and other technical institutions. The rollout of higher ethanol blends was undertaken only after extensive consultations, extensive laboratory studies and field trials confirmed that E20 is safe for use under prescribed standards. These studies also established that legacy vehicles do not exhibit any significant variation in performance or abnormal wear and tear due to E20. Manufacturer service data confirms that there is no abnormal corrosion, wear or reduction in vehicle life due to E20 fuel. The government's assessment is based not only on laboratory research but also on large-scale experience after nationwide implementation. According to CM and RI, E20 improves acceleration and ride quality while reducing carbon emissions. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday chaired a meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security to review the situation in the context of ongoing West Asia conflict and measures taken by various ministries and departments. This was the fourth special CCS meeting on the issue. On the situation of seafarers in conflict zones, Prime Minister Modi directed to establish a mechanism to provide timely information, emergency assistance and counselling to seafarers and their families. Prime Minister said that all efforts must be made to safeguard the citizens as well as the Indian diaspora from the impact of this conflict. Requirements for the fertilizers for the ensuing Rabi season was assessed and alternate sources of fertilizers were also discussed. Prime Minister said that all measures be taken for ensuring uninterrupted supply of fertilizers. In order to ensure energy independence, Prime Minister Modi said that the emphasis should be made on renewable energy sources. And in a major step towards preserving Ladakh's archaeological and cultural heritage, Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena has declared 23 historically significant sites as protected monuments under the provisions of the Jammu and Kashmir Ancient Monuments Preservation Act. The landmark decision marks a significant milestone in safeguarding Ladakh's unique civilizational heritage by ensuring legal protection, scientific conservation and systematic restoration of monuments that reflect the region's long and diverse history. Also, more on this report on the flood and rain situation across these states.
Severe weather conditions continue to wreak havoc across several parts of India as the monsoon intensifies. Multiple states are battling widespread destruction, loss of life, and extensive damage to infrastructure. The flood situation in Assam continues to remain grim, with 7 districts reeling under the impact of rising waters. According to Assam State Disaster Management Authority, the death toll has climbed to 78, while more than 3 lakh people remain affected by the deluge. Rescue and relief operations are being carried out on a war footing by the NDRF, SDRF, other security forces, and local authorities. India Met Department has forecast heavy to very heavy rains accompanied by thunderstorms at isolated places in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, and Nagaland over the next 3 days, raising concerns of further challenges. In Odisha, flood situation remained serious on Thursday, with 4 northern districts under close watch. The Water Resources Department has stepped up field level preparedness, intensifying monitoring of rivers and flood protection infrastructure. Odisha Disaster Management Minister said that rains have reduced across most parts of the state, but nearly 6 lakh people across 5 districts have been affected. Meanwhile, heavy rains over the past few days have triggered flood-like conditions in several parts of Chhattisgarh. Low-lying areas have been inundated, rivers and streams are in spate, and road connectivity has been disrupted. At least 5 people have lost their lives in rain-related incidents, while residents living along riverbanks have been alerted to remain cautious. In Telangana, widespread rainfall has brought relief after a prolonged dry spell. The state rainfall deficit has narrowed to 10% as of Thursday morning. However, heavy showers caused waterlogging and traffic congestion at several locations in Hyderabad. Intense and persistent rainfall has resulted in widespread flooding, waterlogging, landslides, and significant damage to life and property, posing fresh challenges for disaster response agencies and local administrations. Bureau Report, DD India.
Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met members of parliament from Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland and discussed the situation in the two states in the wake of the floods. In a post on social media, Prime Minister Modi said that the central government will continue working with the respective state governments to address the challenges arising from the floods. Prime Minister also prayed for everyone's well-being and safety. And still to come in this edition of DT India Live. Europe battles relentless wildfires as France contains major blaze. Spain, Greece and England remain on high alert. Africa, Zimbabwe and Namibia. Welcome back. You're watching DT India Live. I'm Vipakshi Khurana. And moving on, US President Donald Trump on Thursday announced an agreement for the complete disarmament of Hamas and other armed groups in Gaza, calling it a critical step towards a new Palestinian government in Gaza. In a post on Truth Social, Trump cast it as a major milestone in the implementation of the Trump 20-point plan to end Israel's war in Gaza. Trump asserted that the agreement would be implemented in phases. He wrote, Israeli forces will withdraw and an international stabilization force working alongside a new Palestinian police force will assume responsibility for security in Gaza. The president thanked mediators from Egypt, Qatar and Turkey as well as his administration for helping broker the agreement. Also, senior Hamas officials confirmed on Friday that they have reached a deal to end the conflict with Israel after Trump announced that the group was prepared to disarm. Hamas officials said the deal includes provisions addressing the group's weapons and the gradual withdrawal of Israeli forces from the Gaza Strip. However, the Israeli official early on Thursday, who declined to be identified, said Israel had rejected a proposal. Well, the U.S. military Central Command said on Thursday it has redirected 24 commercial vessels since restarting a blockade on Iranian ports earlier this month, up from 20 vessels a day earlier. CENTCOM said since President Trump reinstated the blockade, U.S. forces have boarded 2 ships accused of violating it and have fired at 2 other ships to disable them. The U.S. has publicly insisted the Strait of Hormuz is still open to commercial traffic, but transits through the waterway remain extremely low as Iran threatens to strike the ships. Well, the U.S. military completed a wave of strikes against Iran on Thursday in retaliation against Tehran, targeting American bases in Jordan. Iran's state news agency reported hits on several cities in the southwestern Khuzestan province, as well as on Qashm Island in the Gulf. Meanwhile, the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said it struck a U.S. military base in Kuwait on Thursday in retaliation for a large-scale U.S. attack on Iran earlier that day. The strike destroyed 2 drone hangars and a fuel depot for aircraft and military helicopters. The IRGC said earlier that the United States had launched an airstrike on Iran from the military base in Kuwait, hitting 2 houses on Iran's Qashm Island in an attack which killed a family of 3, including a child, and injured 2 other children. In retaliation, the IRGC said it also struck a U.S. military base in Jordan on Thursday, destroying 3 F-35 fighter jets. Well, the United States on Thursday issued new sanctions on Thursday targeting global networks supporting Mahan Air, the Iranian carrier transporting Iran's Revolutionary Guards personnel as well as weapons and drones. The U.S. Treasury designated 6 entities and individuals in China, Russia and Iran, including several companies that act as sales agents for the U.S. and EU-sanctioned airline, the department said in a statement. The move comes as a drone strike on gas vessels in Egypt's Mediterranean port of Damietta signaled 15 members of the Security Council. Greenspan received 10 encouraged votes to 9 for Rodriguez Burkett and 7 for Argentina's Rafael Grossi. The candidates from Argentina, Chile, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Guyana, Senegal and Uganda are seeking to replace Antonio Guterres of Portugal when he steps down at the end of this year after 2 5-year terms. In the straw polls, of which multiple rounds are expected, Security Council members are asked in secret ballots if they encourage, discourage or have no opinion on candidates. The Council conducted 1 voting round and did not set a date for another. Denmark, which assumes the rotating presidency on Friday, would provide details in coming days. And in a major developing news, Spain has deployed military units to reinforce police in its enclave of Ceuta in North Africa as migrants surged by sea and land from Morocco into the territory. Authorities sought to close off another Spanish enclave nearby. Hundreds of migrants were seen swimming or floating on inner tubes from the Moroccan side, and others were breaking through a gate on land and running into the city. Ceuta and Melilla have the European Union's only land borders with Africa. In Melilla, footage appeared to show clashes at the Beni Ansar border point late. That has been the only open crossing between Morocco and Melilla for the past 6 years. According to reports, at least 3 vehicles were set ablaze and injured were reported among migrants and security forces as well. The government said 200 specialized police officers and 60 troops arrived from the Spanish mainland to reinforce Ceuta's regular forces. It was unclear whether reinforcements were being sent to Melilla, and authorities were not immediately available for comment. Well, a Georgia court has sentenced the father of a teenage school shooter to 15 years in prison after finding him criminally responsible for giving his son the rifle used in a deadly school massacre. 55-year-old Colin Gray was sentenced after being convicted of second-degree murder and related charges linked to the 2024 shooting at Appalachia High School in Georgia. The rifle he gave to his son, called Gray, was used to kill 4 people during the attack. Just 2 days earlier, 16-year-old Colt Gray was sentenced to life in prison without parole for carrying out the mass shooting. Although prosecutors sought an 80-year sentence for the father, judge imposed a 15-year prison term, saying the convictions did not carry mandatory prison sentences. And some updates now on wildfire in Europe. After days of intense efforts to contain the blaze in France, wildfires in southwestern region have somehow been contained. On Thursday, authorities stated that the burnt area remains at 42,000 hectares after days of firefighting. Around 3,300 firefighters and significant aerial resources, including firefighting planes and helicopters, remained deployed in the area. However, the blazes ranging through pine forest near Bordeaux have forced the evacuation of about 220,000 residents. Through some 84,000 people have now been allowed to return. Thousands of businesses that had halted operations are beginning to resume activity, while Interior Minister Laurent Nunez said France's wildfire risk remains extremely high despite a slight improvement in weather conditions, citing persistent drought and fast-spreading blazes across the country. While wildfire conditions improved in Spain, central provinces of Avila and Madrid, however, a blaze in Castellón remained out of control after burning more than 10,000 hectares, with adverse weather triggering several flare-ups. Around 10,000 evacuated residents were still unable to return to their homes in Castellón. In Greece, more than 200 firefighters grappled in Crete on Thursday to tame blazes burning for a second day after strong winds sparked new fronts. The fires that started on Wednesday in the southern region of Rethymno damaged coastal businesses and left behind scorched agricultural land. The wildfire prompted evacuations from several villages and tourist areas as well. And on to some business news. Apple beat market expectations in its latest results, marking Tim Cook's final earnings report as CEO. However, the company's outlook for this current quarter disappointed the investors. The tech giant's results were driven by strong iPhone demand and double-digit growth across all regions where it operates. However, Apple forecasts revenue growth of between 9% and 11% for the current quarter, below market estimates, citing supply constraints. And time now for some sports news. India's impressive run at the Commonwealth Games continued, with weightlifter Lovepreet Singh winning a silver medal. The 28-year-old claimed silver in the men's over 110 kilogram category with a total lift of 388 kilograms. India's Seema Kaliraman won the bronze medal in the women's discus throw at the Commonwealth Games as well. The 27-year-old secured third place with the best throw of 58.66 meters, taking India's athletics medal tally to 4. And President Draupadi Murmu congratulated Seema Kaliraman in a post on social media platform X. The president said, and I quote, "Heartiest congratulations to Seema Kaliramna on winning bronze medal in the women's discus throw event at Glasgow Commonwealth Games 2026. Your achievement is a testament to your perseverance, dedication and hard work. Your success will inspire young women to strive for excellence in sports. May you continue to bring glory to the nation." Well, two-time Olympic medalist Neeraj Chopra, along with two other Indians, advanced to the Commonwealth Games men's javelin throw final after finishing among the top 12 in the qualification round in Glasgow. Chopra was fifth with a best effort of 79.61 meters, while Rohit Yadav and Yashveer Singh ended the qualification in 9th and 10th positions, respectively, to ensure a full Indian contingent in the medal round. Well, the ICC has announced the venues for the 2027 ODI World Cup, which will be held in October and November across 3 countries, Zimbabwe, Namibia and South Africa. The tournament will be played at 12 venues, with 8 venues in South Africa, 3 in Zimbabwe, and matches also scheduled in Namibia's capital, Windhoek. All right, that's all for this edition of the India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from Al Fasain in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India.